Hey everyone, it's Alex, and welcome to the Snapchat. I'm joined today by none other than Cozy Snap. Cozy, Gwenpool has hit the world of Marvel Snap, and there is a wide range of reviews on this brand new Season Pass card. We'll start there, we'll talk about Hydra Bob later, but Gwenpool itself came out, and I played a lot of it, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. Statistics are kind of all over the place. So I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts thus far on Gwenpool.
Yeah, it was fun playing Gwenpool as like a player rather than a content creator because I was on vacation, right? So I got to play a little bit of her, when I was making for a video, but there was kind of like a ton of decks to try out. Like there was so many things I was messing around with, from like the greedy, crazy, what I enjoyed playing on vacation, like give power to anything that wants power and have cards that give power. And that's the deck that I was going with, the Nimrod, the Shaw, all that. Obviously, we knew she would do good in Surfer, and we saw that kind of come to light. She was fun. I tried to make her work for way too long in Destroy, and she kind of fit exactly where I thought. It did okay. By okay, I mean pretty good. Or fine, I guess. But, it's always just so tight with Destroy, and when you get her. Overall, though, I enjoyed the card.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly how I felt as well. Statistics are kind of weak. 51% win rate. This is post-infinite only. 51% win rate. A flat cube rate at 0.00. However, 32% of the meta. And I think that's being influenced by the weekend missions as of recording. So you're seeing a lot of experimentation with Gwenpool, but a relatively low win rate. However, I don't think it's going to stay that way. This is one of those cards that I think ages better as time goes on, because I think that its synergy is a little obvious, but at the same time, I think that the deck building has to be more deliberate to really maximize how much power output you can get from Gwenpool. So I would expect this win rate to drift up a couple percent for sure. My experience was positive. I actually really liked her in Silver Surfer, which is kind of funny because you wouldn't think like, oh, Silver Surfer, a 4-cost card, what do you care? Well, it was a really good play on turn 4, and Silver Surfer often gives up a little bit on turn 4. And you hit Sebastian Shaw. That's like a 4 buff for Sebastian Shaw. A 3/4 Surfer, that's actually kind of crazy. That extra power goes a long way in Silver Surfer because it's not a deck that goes super vertical, with the exception of Sebastian Shaw. It's really good attacking multiple locations at once.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you got Brood in there as well, the Absorbing Man, so you can like really go crazy with it. I mean, every time I played her, I'd be like, God, the Rockets. I just like watch and beg that it's going to the cards, that I want it to go to. Listen, let me be straight. I think this card is good. I think the card is good. What did we give it? 4-star last week?
Yeah, so we were in the 4-star range. You came in at 3.5 to 4. I came in at 4.
I think that's where I'm at. 3.5 to 4. I think probably 4. I think she is good for the season. I think she's gonna live well past her season. She's not like a flavor kind of like boosted stat deck. Maybe you'll like her and play her in a couple unique builds. She's very versatile. She can just be. She's doing what you're already doing. And she has good stats to go along with it. So I definitely enjoyed her. I'm looking forward, now that I'm back from vacation, to play her even more. I played a fair amount of her. Probably, I don't know if I played more or less Snap than I usually do. It was kind of because I'm not, I wasn't on my PC per se. But I did play a good amount of Gwenpool. Not maybe as much Bob, but we'll get to him. But definitely, I enjoy the way that she supercharged some of the cards in the game, bro. Now, I saw this. I was watching your stream. You said you were going to go all in on the Black Panther. I did a little bit. Did you do a little Black Panther testing?
I did quite a bit of Black Panther testing, and what'd you find?
I'm asking. The question was to you, Alex.
But I Uno reversal carded, damn it, but that's fine. I'll accept your demands upon me. It was okay. Like, it was fine. It wasn't that great.
I think, so let me see if I still have the deck build. Yeah, so I had this deck where I had Psylocke and Zabu, and these two could ramp out either Shuri, Wong, or Gwenpool, and then you would try to play out Black Panther, Nimrod, or Shaw. And then your finishers were Taskmaster and Arnim Zola. That was a super fun build. Like, that to me, it wasn't exactly like, listen, bro, I'm just so, like, I just don't care. I think people are so caught up on their ranks. I just had a blast with this deck. I think it was just a good freaking time.
I actually have to mention that. So while we were on vacation, I was doing the same thing. I was streaming super laid back, super chill. And I was like, you know what, guys? I'm not trying to break the meta with some crazy deck. I'm just going to experiment and have fun with this card. it was the most enjoyable Marvel Snap I had in a while because like I wasn't sweating so hard to try to crack the meta code or whatever. I was just playing the damn game and I really liked it. I really liked it. And so I really like what you mentioned there because with the Black Panther deck, I had a bit of a different approach. I went to the route of, okay, I'm going to do the Black Panther Zola combination. I'm going to do the Wong. I'm going to do the White Tiger Odin. So I have that backup plan.
Yep.
I'm going to have the Gwenpool so I could actually, and I was really, really sad. I was really sad that Wong and Gwenpool didn't quite work that well together because with the existence of basically Poo-Poo Zabu, you can't play them in tandem very well. You can't Zabu turn 2, Wong turn 3, Gwenpool 4. So they felt like they were mutually exclusive very often. The deck was fine, but I was often winning on like Odin and White Tiger plays, and not necessarily because Gwenpool was hitting Black Panther and I was making magic happen.
It would be awkward to have the text, but I think if they don't do the activate thing, Zabu should work for like 2 turns. That would get away from the whole 6, 2-on-6 or whatever. But yeah, like if you didn't top deck a 4, like you're just sitting there. But I did like the Shuri thing, dude. I loved either Shuri, Wong, or Gwenpool, and then Wong worked with those cards. Nimrod was just fun. It was just antics. What I like most about Nimrod is if you get his power to stupid levels, and then what are they gonna do? Shang-Chi you? Like I love that. And then the Arnim Zola to Nimrod play is friggin' insane. Does a lot.
I really liked people that were playing Airsham decks against me with Darkhawks. And they weren't even checking my card count, and they play like a 7-power Darkhawk. I'm like, okay.
A million times. Yeah, I saw that so many times, yeah. But overall, yeah, Gwenpool, excited to see how she kind of continues to evolve in the future in general. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think she's good.
I think it's kind of interesting. A very important note about Gwenpool is that its best performing deck is Airsham, which is kind of funny because Airsham, like, how do you have a card like Airsham carry a card like Gwenpool? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, in theory, every single card in an Airsham deck should have a lesser impact because of what Airsham does. And yet, the highest performing version we have of Gwenpool currently is Airsham. Is it just riding the coattails or what?
No, I think it's because, like, what we were saying on the Snapchat last week, like, Gwenpool, even though she's not... Okay, she's a 4/12 pretty much, right? The only con to that is sometimes you can't play all the cards out in time. But with Airsham, you should be able to do that more likely. Now, I get what you're saying. You're not always going to get Gwenpool. It's not going to be cards that you want to give the power to, but you're almost always getting... I don't know why I clicked off. You're almost always getting that 4/12 value out of a 4-cost card.
Especially when you're playing Surfer and she hits twice. She's like, Nova. And you're like, sick. You know what I mean? All the time, man.
Or the only card...
Sebastian Shaw's in there, like, just dodging them, like, just literally doing Goku dodges.
Bro, the amount of time, so, like, that deck I just said, right? Like, what did I say, man? I had, like, 10 cards in there that want the buff. Taskmaster, obviously. The only one. You definitely don't want... And every time Taskmaster would be like, boom. You got, like, two of them. You got, like, 4 power. Like, great. I think Taskmaster... no. I was going to say, can he get the Dracula buff? Right? Where, like, he just gets the power added on to what he has. But no, no. We can't do that.
Yeah, one thing I will mention about this card as we move on towards Hydra Bob is that I found it difficult to keep my hand small enough to really isolate the cards I want to hit. And so oftentimes you just want to hit anything and you just accept the power that you get from her, right? Treat her like that 4/12 that you mentioned, right?
The Destroy build was cool with her and it worked. Like you have, like I said, Nimrod. The problem is now you're going away from like the traditional Destroy. So I had Deadpool, which this new... That new Deadpool variant,
nice
for those that are
variant.
watching, it was awesome. And that's what every Deadpool variant's cool. So, like, what are you going to do? But having Deadpool as a possible target, fantastic. Having any of these cards that just want power anyway for Venom, fantastic. Nico can make the copy of those cards. Loved that completely. And then you just went for the Nimrod route. Like, that was kind of the build instead. And it felt fresh, new, and different. Deadpool didn't always feel like he deserved to be in that necessarily, but he obviously likes that power.
Yeah, I like that. And with my Nimrod package, I found that Shuri was just more reliable with Nimrod because, like, she just goes from 6 to 12, right? And you don't have to worry about it getting hit and all that stuff. What I will mention is you talk about good variants with Deadpool. You got to show the Penny Arcade Deadpool because I don't know if people realize this. This is more for the video fam. But Deadpool, he actually is holding the energy and the power, which is kind of unique. It's like breaking the fourth wall, so to speak. He's holding the card elements in his hand. I don't know if people realize that or not. So it's one of my favorite variants for that reason.
Absolutely. And we love the artists over there, too. They did a great job. I think Gwenpool also breaks the fourth wall, per se, in her lore. Did you get a chance to check the beginning of my video, the lore section of Gwenpool?
But of course I did.
Dude,
Yeah,
wasn't it
I
cool?
do. I thoroughly enjoyed the I'm going to film in a hurricane thing. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, dude. I worked so long to try to get the audio to even be remotely bearable, and I'm glad people enjoyed it. People liked it. One half people said, "What are you doing? Go on vacation." The other half enjoyed the video, but I'm glad you liked it, man. But yeah, Gwenpool breaks the fourth wall. It'd be cool if they did something kind of like this, just because those are the two that do that the most. But man, let's be honest, bro. Card of the week. May I say card of the year? Hydra Bob.
Yeah, if you like, I don't know, diarrhea, crapping yourself, just being overall pretty sad. I mean, Hydra Bob's pretty awesome.
Hold up.
You want to hear some awesome stats post Infinite?
They're awesome. Tell me.
Okay, do you have any idea how low the win rate is?
I'm gonna go 23%.
Higher.
Oh, 32.
Oh, 33% post Infinite. -5-2 cube rate. 7.5% of the meta. It's seeing play. Dude, this is just an absolute tire fire. And what's crazy about this, man, is honestly, in my testing with this card, it wasn't that bad.
No.
Like, I wasn't running a 33% win rate, but I just, okay. This is what I did. I literally took a very high-performing Gilgamesh shell. I knew the card was going to suck. I knew it wasn't going to be that good, but okay, can it work in a Gilgamesh Zoo deck? It was fine, but like, I mean, I'd almost rather play Martyr for the extra power. What do you think the problem with Hydra Bob is?
That's kind of what I said last week. I was like, I think Zoo was the first one. I'm like, I love Zoo, but the problem is he's a one-cost card, right? He's not like going to game change anything. Like, we're trying to like get this new card and be like, look at him, he's great, but it's like he's just not. Unless it's Nico level of crazy, it's not going to do a lot. I liked him in, I think our boy Dex, who hit rank 1. Shout out to you, Dexter. I think our boy Dex did a kind of move deck that ended up being okay as well. It's just that there's 12 cards in the game. So even if there's 12 cards in a deck. So even if he's doing okay, there's almost certainly a better card to play than him.
It almost is. And that's kind of the sad part. And I think one of the major problems with Hydra Bob, which ultimately is going to kind of take him out of people's decks, is the snap's a very expensive price to pay. Like, if you want to move him and you snap, that's a hefty toll just to take a risk of maybe he doesn't move to the location. Even if you can guarantee he moves to a location you want, you can still lose. You lose to Dr. Doom if he moves into a, Sanctorum or whatever. And what if you've already snapped and you top deck him or something, or you get him on turn 5? Like, what do you do then? And then your opponent, do they snap? Do they unsnap? Or not unsnap, but like, do they not snap because they don't want to move Hydra Bob? Because now they're in control of Hydra Bob. I mean, the mechanic is interesting, but I don't think the payoff's enough.
The best part about this guy is I didn't get to make the video on him, but Hydra Bob. So Hydra Bob, you know Hydra, right? It's like the villain organization. Hydra Bob's wife was pestering him to get a job, all right? And he needed good dental. This is how this guy ended up in Hydra. He thought, so get this, he goes through Hydra's training program, okay? Rigorous, it was like boot camp. Gets through the whole thing. Realizes they don't even offer full dental. So Bob got...
That would be disappointing.
Yeah, that's talk about selling your soul for nothing. I mean, and then that's kind of it. That's kind of a couple mischief adventures with Deadpool, but this has got to be the most... Who the hell is that character in Marvel Snap?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even then it's like, dude, what are you wearing? Like, that is the dumbest getup I've ever seen. It's like, I don't know, it's just awful.
Hey, I have that.
You have that? You have this green, extremely tight spandex that goes over your head and covers your eyes?
Did I stutter?
No.
I didn't. I actually did.
Buddy, I respect it. Next podcast, I see it.
I did a video. I was going to do a short, and I went in Florida, and I went around asking people, do you know who Hydra Bob is? And I was like, and the first person that got it, I was going to give him $50, right? Like, I should have made it $1,000. I filmed for like 2 hours. Nobody. Of course not, right? What a dumb video idea. So it didn't make it, guys. It didn't make it. It was going to be a video of me just asking, which probably could have been funny. I probably should have posted it.
Yeah, it probably would have been funny. Is his name just Bob, by the way? Or is it actually
Bob.
Hydra Bob? Is it
It's
just the
just Bob.
fact that he's in Hydra?
It's Bob of Hydra, yeah, which is weird because that'd be like Alex of the teacher.
Oh, so they just added Hydra Bob because otherwise it's just Bob. And
Which would have been awesome. They should have just done Bob.
Yeah, I agree. So anyways, this card, it sucks. You were, you were at 2.5. No, you weren't at 2.5. Did I write that wrong? There's no way you were at 2.5. You were at 1.5, weren't you?
1.5 and 2, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, I said 2, and even then I felt dirty. Like, I didn't like it. I will say, though, I think that it's better than 33% win rate. Like, that's disgustingly low. I don't know. What the hell are you guys doing out there with Hydra Bob? Like, this doesn't even include Agatha decks. Like, I cut those out of the metrics. I don't know, man. Someone drank a lot of scotch and put Hydra Bob in their deck and has been maining Hydra Bob and is tanking these stats because this is absolutely disgusting.
If we know something, we know he's going to get a buff in the OTA next week.
Yeah, he'll be a 1-9. That takes us from Hydra Bob, who's currently one of the worst cards we've ever seen in Marvel Snap, to the worst cards that we do see very frequently in Marvel Snap. Cozy, we're not doing a top 10. We're just going to talk through some cards here that are absolute unmitigated filth. Now, it's funny. When I had the thought about doing this again, I like doing it every once in a while. It was like, you know what? Are there still bad cards in Snap? We've seen so many OTAs, so many buffs. Glenn's doing a great job making sure that so many things fit. No, there is tons of trash in Snap. Trash heap cards that do not see play because they are unplayable. And I'm going to start with a couple, Cozy. And it's sad. It hurts me to say this. White Queen. We have Gwenpool in the game as a 4/6 that provides 6 additional stats into your hand. What the hell is White Queen supposed to do? She's just sitting there like, yo, check out all these fire variants I have.
Yeah, dude, look at
but
this.
But also never play me ever.
Her variants are just like, they don't deserve to be this good. And then it's just not great. Even in Airsham, it's like there's just other cards to play. And the thing is, dude, it's not even that complicated to make her good. Like, to give her stats that are decent, to give her a +1 on the card that you get, like as something, right? Like, make up the stats in the card that you get, like a Mirage, but more expensive, right? Something like that. It's not rocket science to me.
Do you even play her at a 4/8?
Yeah, I would. At that point, you would have to make a deck design around it, but yeah, because then you get some good intelligence from them. But then with Airsham right now, I don't know.
Yeah, you basically pull Airsham every time. Cool.
Or just like a randomly generated card from Airsham. It doesn't really teach you much. You know, it doesn't like really help what you're trying to do.
No, and it doesn't really. It leans into the fact that she's like a telepath, and you can read their hand a bit. I don't know, man. I think the effect is probably fine, but like, man, Emma Frost. Also, her name is not White Queen. It's Emma Frost, is it not?
Yes. Although I think we're gonna be. I like that you started here, by the way. I thought you were for sure going the Angel route. Like, I felt like, you know, I kind of like, we go to worst cards. I'm like, Angel, here he comes. I'm gonna get him like prepped up, ready to go. I like this pick. I like this pick as it's a bit different. And I feel like that's the problem with the 4s, because what happened with the 4s is you had the Zabu, which then they kind of had to like, oh no, what do we do? It's like, it's too good. It's just an awkward cost line in general. But White Queen, she's probably the leader of that pack. Actually, I would say most definitely.
Yeah, and I'd like to see something happen with White Queen eventually, because as you are, I'm also overinvested in White Queen variants. There is another card at the 3-cost slot who I think has been completely forgotten about. There's just going to be people that are like, that card exists? I totally forgot it existed.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask, do you think Atuma sucks?
No, I like Atuma.
Okay.
I'm trying to... Wait, I can't remember. What's the kindergarten cop thing? What's the kindergarten cop line that every time I play Atuma, people spam it in Twitch chat?
It's not Atuma. It's not Atuma.
I don't know, but who's the 3-cost card? Hit me with the 3.
Okay, the 3-cost card that literally everyone forgot exists and probably can get buffed up significantly is Mr. Fantastic. It is a 3/2, and literally, listen, it's being played less than 1% of the time. At minimum 3/3. This could even be a 3/4. 3/4 is probably intense, but 3/3 minimum buff. This card on paper should be okay. But like, why play this right now? Like, this card is totally and utterly irrelevant. Unbelievable that it still exists in the fashion that it does.
A 3/4 is actually not crazy, because it's 3/8, which is big, but it's spread across 3 lanes. It's probably crazy. It's probably too crazy, but it's like right up there in the middle ground. Like, if you look at those cards that kind of do what they do there. Fonta, what are they just waiting for the movie to come out in like 2 years to make him better? Like, he's just such an iconic hero. Yeah, I definitely think it's funny. We're going back to some of these like kind of old classics. Another just cool variant kind of card, man. Look at some of these, man. Look at the Moose Fantastic. We got them all. Just doesn't do it. Just doesn't do it.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. The animation sitting there for so long is just kind of ridiculous. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just immature. The one you had, yeah. I don't know, it just kind of hit me. I don't know. I'm such an idiot. That's why I was just cracking up laughing.
Don't describe
you're talking all serious about Mr. Fantastic. And
don't
he's just
describe it for
bumping.
our viewers. Don't do it.
All right, I won't describe it. But
Save 'em.
let's go on to the next card. I think that minimum this card hits OTA 3-3. I think at an absolute minimum, that's a 3-7 style line, and you still have to cope with the idea of you have to play a mid for for the most part. Can I bring up Electra? I think Electra is absolutely unplayable. The only time I see Electra is when a bot just has it in a random deck and it snipes the crap out of whatever play I'm trying to make. I think this card needs something, and I don't know if it's... You looking at me like you like Electra.
Alex, but the new player experience.
Oh my god, that's why you're giving me that look? I thought you were going to like, Alex, just an FYI, Electra, 99% win rate.
Dude, they toyed with putting her able to kill a random 2-cost card at a location, and I thought that was sweet. I think there were so many pivotal 2-cost cards. I thought that was a great idea, and then they just never did it.
It is a fun new player experience card. But like also,
It can
what
still
the hell,
be.
man?
It could still be. It could still be. What for like the sunspot meta that you're in for 5 seconds? Like, no, dude, she needs to be changed.
Yeah, considering like honestly, there's like a meta right now where Zoo is pretty good. Like it is pretty legit. Nebula is one of the best 1-drops in the game, and you still don't see Electra because she has to be played later. And why do you commit energy later when you want to be playing on curve? You have a plan for turn 5, 6, or 7, right? You have a plan for those turns, and Electra's hard to sneak in there. So I think Electra needs something. It's seeing less than a percentage of play.
I wanted to bring up, this card doesn't suck, but isn't it just sad? Every time I see Chavez, I just get sad. Like, we don't need her to be where she was, but dude, she's bad.
I coped with Chavez in my Black Panther deck, and it was exactly that. It was pure
You
copium.
can't even see what she's doing. It's just bad. It's just a weird, bad card.
Yeah, Chavez in her old state was obviously insane, but also at least it did something. At least it felt like a tool. This just feels like
was
it's
she a
dead.
2-3? Wasn't she 2-3 for a little bit?
They made her a 2, then they made her a 1.
Oh,
But let's always remember that she was a 6'10 during beta.
6'10.
She got brought down to a 6'9. Should have stayed there.
Should have stayed there. What's our next one?
The next ones we're doing as a pair because they're both 3-costed cards that operate and destroy in Dawkin and in Sabretooth. Now, Destroy continues to be one of the top meta shells. I mean, it's constantly hovering around between like a 6 and a 10% play rate. It's the perennial, always competing deck, and neither Dawkin nor Sabretooth can crack those decks. Sabretooth did get buffed to a 3-5 from a 3-4. Still, neither of them break a single percentage point of play. I'd make the argument that Dawkin could be good, maybe even a Gwenpool-based deck, but they're not seeing it right now.
I don't hate Dawkin. I just feel like it's now almost been a full year since he's been out. He just kind of exists. He doesn't really do a lot. And mainly because you remember when Wolverine was that destroy and discard kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, you can put him in both. They kind of try to do that with him, and it just doesn't. He's the master of none.
Yeah, and you need to like actually activate him, and he doesn't feel like he gives you that return that you're seeking. Like you have to do that extra step for him, and it's like, okay, I did it. He's a 3-8. Cool.
If we had a card, I don't know. I mean, Nico does it with like the next card you play gets destroyed automatically. Like something like that is interesting. You know, more of those could maybe make them better, where you don't have to spend the energy. Or this stupid shard needs to be free. It went away, but you know what I mean. This shard needs to be free. Why won't it go to the shard? There we go. The shard is a 1-1. It should be a 0-1.
Yeah, I agree, because you still have to do something with it, right?
Yep.
You got to destroy it, and that's a nice buff actually, making the shard free as opposed to making like a 3-5 for instance.
Love that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I actually like that. Please, someone, shout out Cozy in the patch notes when that happens, because it's a brilliant change. And another card that needs a brilliant change, which is currently the lowest played card in Marvel Snap Cozy at the 4 costs, the wife of the Man of Iron, Rescue.
Yeah.
That's his wife, right?
It is. They have tried with Rescue so much, because what you're doing is you have a card that you're telling your opponent what you're doing. You're telling your opponent what you're doing. So I just like was it Hawkeye got a buff, and he's similar, and it made him kind of competitive because he had pretty good stats. She's a 4-9. I don't even know what you give her stats wise to be like, oh yeah. I'm gonna be playing back in this lane. Like what? A 410's good?
I don't know, man, because then this 410 theoretically a nerf.
Yeah, and then it's like you can't go like 4-6 and she gets +4. I guess you could. And then you could
If you're
abandon.
gonna go 410, you go 411. I think. Give her the 2 power, make her susceptible to Shunchi.
No, but what I'm saying is you got like a 4-7, right? Or 4-6. That way you play into it to get to a 410 probably. But then you can abandon it and it's still 4-6. Like you don't have to go with the game plan necessarily. Like don't give that bonus to her power of the plus power, but to her base.
I like the idea of playing a rescue and part of your gameplay is to not play on top of her. That seems like it's going to be a very high win rate. This card is so dead, man.
It's dead.
We can't even cope into playing her.
It's dead. It's a dead card. Yeah, for sure. You would think it'd be like good in some mid range. It's just bad. It's just bad. There's just other options. Why would you play?
There's another couple cards I want to talk about before we move on to the Snapchat mailbag. Another card that you probably forgot existed. But I like the flavor of, because I hate locations. We've established this. And there's one card that demolishes locations at the 3 cost. And that is our boy Rhino. Cozy, he's in Spidey and Friends. Did you know that?
Yes. What do we do with this guy, man? We've said it. Did we come up with a great idea not long ago?
Yeah, I think we did, but I forgot because the card has not been in my memory.
He's a 3/3 too. I just don't get why he's a 3/3. Like 3/5 Nocturne can change the locations and you can move her. Why 3/3?
That's true.
3/4
Yeah,
wouldn't do it
3/5
either.
Black Swan.
I don't like 3/4 either. I don't. Yeah, I think 3/5.
I bet you if this is a 3/6, people still don't play him.
Nah, he'd be pretty good then. Yeah, because then
Yeah, he's pretty good at
He'd
3/6.
be pretty good. But no, I even think 3/5 is competitive into a sense, right? Because you have this card that can. I don't know. We'll have to. I think he'd be okay at that, but ruin this location. It just. Again, why put that as one of your 12?
You know what I would really like? Rhino as a 4/9. Follow that up with Legion. Just wipe locations every game. Just, nope. We don't do this here.
A 4/9. Dude, that's just a better Legion, almost. Not a better Legion, but it's a good I mean, like, half the time with Legion, you're trying to do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Rhino in a Wong deck so I can just double pump the location just to send a message.
What happens when you ruin a ruin?
It gets ruined.
Into ruins?
Yeah. And then you Legion that after.
Huh. Game over. Game over, dude.
I don't know if I'm coping. I tried to play Adam Warlock unironically in Erisham. It had moments. Cozy had moments. But he sucks the Coco Schnuts.
I'm almost tired of talking
You got to
about
say
him.
something for the audio viewers.
No, I'm almost tired of talking about him. It's just like he's just so he's bad. He's just bad, man. I swear on it, there are a couple cards that there's just people that with vendettas against them at second dinner. They just hate him. They're coming to Comic-Con again this year, I believe. Maybe because the art director said who's going, so I'm thinking they're gonna go. If they're going, I'm just gonna ask. My one Q&A is gonna be like, why do you hate Adam Warlock? Just no context. Just leave it at that. I agree. I don't even know again where to take him, what to do with him. Or maybe just the cost. Would you play him at 4 or 5?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Honestly, in Erisham, he drew cards sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah, I think 4 or 5 is better because then at least you can get one more to your game plan towards the in-game plan or whatever. Can I ask you, do you think they'd ever buff Arrow?
I think they should.
What do they do?
But I don't know to what. Like 5/9's not enough for her. Look at this. Oh, look at this variant. That's a blue neon border, and it actually works perfectly.
Dude, it's my favorite. I don't even play her much anymore, and I just know how to get it. I don't know what you do with this card.
I think it's just more power. Like, to think, you know what, going back in time, to think that this card, its original ability, it moved everything they played. Why not just rank with this card nonstop? The most broken card in Snap, we just didn't realize it.
Make her 6 cost and give her the same ability.
Ooh, dirty. Is that kind of just like moving leader?
Wait, no, because you don't.
Yeah, you negate their entire turn 6 play.
Yeah, moving leader. Yes. That's
what I mean. Like you take everything they've done and move it. Leader used to take everything they've done and copy it.
But then, like, what do you do with Eliath at that point? I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. I do think Arrow though needs some love. I do.
Yeah, for sure. And the last card we're going to talk about here. By the way, Adam Warlock, I think they hate Adam Warlock because he ruined Guardians 3. That's my hot take.
Okay.
Kang? Does he become an activate card eventually? Like, this card is so poo. I don't know what to do anymore. We've had so many ideas about Kang. So many ideas. I played him in Airsham decks, and that was heavy hopium.
I have Kang fatigue.
He still sucks.
Yeah, I've got Kang fatigue. At this point, it's just him and Angel hang out. Him and Angel. Again, I hope with alliances they have like a statistic page that you can pull up on your buddies, and you can see their least cards played. Because I want to see how many games of Snap you've played Angel in.
Me? 6?
Seems high. That seems a little high.
It seems high. It's more than you? You're like, damn, got me.
I also love that Angel's so bad that we're not even going to talk about him.
No, screw Angel. He's done. I hate him.
Done. He's done. He's absolute done, buddy. As we are with that segment, I'm assuming. We do have a Snapchat mailbag, though. I'm excited. We got some juicy questions.
Oh, buddy. We always have some juicy stuff for the Snapchat. And we're going to start it off with a discussion about emotes. We've been discussing emotes over the last couple weeks. And Ken G came in and said, I've always used the Deadpool emote for the middle finger, not the thumbs up Miss Marvel. That blows my mind.
You're doing it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong. It's like using your ring finger for the middle finger. It doesn't work.
No, it just doesn't work. It's just, also, when you're giving the middle finger, like you have to do it like with like, it has to be a solid. It can't be like a wimpy, like just kind of when there's a space, it looks bad. It's got to be like a solid brick wall.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
It's the Have you seen those gifs where like these two guys are like angry at each other, and they're like trying to see who can give like the bigger finger to each other on the other side of the. You have to with force. You got to give it with force.
Yeah, the Deadpool emote. It's funny how we've seen a lot of comments where people interpret these emotes in different ways, right? And people are like, "Oh, I use the Miss Marvel as a legit thumbs up." Like, no, you don't. When was the last time you lost a game and someone gave you a Miss Marvel? You're like, "Oh yeah, that felt good."
False.
Come on, man. We know what these emotes are.
Liars.
We know what these are.
Liars.
Yeah, absolute liars. And the next question comes from Coccia. I like this one a lot. My wife overheard the podcast the other day. She knows absolutely nothing about Marvel's Snap, but it got me thinking. If both of you coached your wives for 1 hour and then they had to play each other with no help from either of you, what kind of decks do you think they'd play? And what card do you think most fits your wife's personality?
Ooh, that's a fun one. Does your wife game at all?
Absolutely zero. She has no idea what my YouTube channel is about.
My wife can do Mario Kart. Like that, like pretty well.
The only game my wife has ever played, I've ever seen her play, was Dr. Mario on the NES.
Oh, really? Like Tetris, pretty much?
Basically. That's the only thing she'd ever played. One time I bought her Nintendogs when we were dating. Do you remember Nintendogs? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I do. Did she keep the dog alive? That would represent it. Can they die? They can't.
No,
die.
it's not a Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi you can murder and like
they
discipline, and like murder the Tamagotchi. With Nintendogs, it's no. You can just not feed that dog forever.
It's just sad.
It just sits there waiting for you to come back and pet it, I guess.
Oh my gosh, I would say as for the deck, bro, probably Zoo. I don't think there's a lot of ways you can mess with
exactly
Zoo.
What I have.
No way.
Yeah, I wrote definitely Zoo for sure. Like my wife would be playing Zoo because I think it has a very obvious play pattern. But yeah, is your wife? So your wife's kind of a gamer. She'd play against you.
She has played Mario Kart. She has played Animal Crossing during COVID, and that is almost it. But she will she will try to understand what's happening. But like I try to watch. She was trying to like watch Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, and she's like, "What? Why do you want to play this?"
Yeah. With regards to watching, I remember when my wife and I were dating, she came over one time. We were supposed to go rollerblading, right? She's like, "Oh, let's go rollerblading right near the beachfront." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But I'm playing World of Warcraft right now, honey, and we're in Sunken Temple. We're doing pretty well. Let's just wait till we wiped. Oh, our tank left. Hold on, we're just finding someone else to join the group. And then 4 hours later, it's the middle of the night, and she's like, "What am I doing with my life? I may as well marry this guy." I decided to marry my wife when she watched all 249, I think it is, episodes of Dragon Ball Z with me. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is the one."
Oh, dude, that's amazing. That's a goat of a wife right there to watch that. That was a good question though. I like that we both picked Zoo. That's interesting.
That is. And Stro Hobo did come in with a suggestion for Kitty Pryde. Last week, I remissed once again about the Kitty Pryde's original design. And they said, "Kitty, activate to bounce?" ?
Ooh, we could see it. We could see it. I don't think we will, but we could. But we very well. I'm telling you, if they take their time and try to do all this stuff with activate on back, retroactive cards, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for Activate to fix up some of these like buff candidates that we were talking about as well. And our last question,
Daredevil,
Cozy, you have something you want to add?
just Daredevil activating the next. So you activate them, and the next turn you get to see what they're doing.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's
And
pretty.
then
That's
if you
clutch.
play
That's a very clever use of it.
And then if you play them on 5, or if you act it maybe doesn't
You
work.
might be
on
OP.
turn 6. Maybe it doesn't work on turn 6 still or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting though. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably what Kang ends up being. No.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, potentially. And the last question from Torate. This makes me laugh because we got a million comments about this. Darkhawk is not as clear of a counter as you're making it seem to an Erisham when they can play 3 blobs. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's always that, like, what if they play 3 blobs, Alex? Or bobs? 3 Hydra Bobs. What if they play 3 blobs, damn it? They got blobs everywhere. They got a blob from their deck. They got a blob from Erisham. And then they Mystique the blob. And then they Moongirl the Mystique. There's 9 blobs out there, Alex. How do you cope with that? And I always laugh at this because, like, we're talking about Ajax. We're like, well, I'm just gonna play Luke Cage. I'm like, hey, look at Devil Dart. Well, I'm just gonna play there's always some way to murder everyone's design.
What if X-Mansion gives you Luke Cage? Yeah, like exactly. It's like the one. That's like the definition of you, though. I feel like I'll be like, hey, hear me out, and you're like, but until, and then you say your thing like Gwenpool hits your Nova 5 times. Or, you got your Alexisms.
I do deflate your balloon every once in a while. You're like, hey, Alex, like, listen, I got this crazy combo idea. And I'm like, bro, but they're just going to do this. You're like, I know, Alex, we're trying to talk on a podcast here. Right? It's like, it's so funny sometimes.
Trying to talk with my friend. Yeah, dude. But I wouldn't trade it for anything because we're at what? Is this 89 episodes?
I think it must be. We're closing it on 90, but we're going to be at 100 soon.
We got to do something.
That's crazy.
We got to do something.
We got to do something special.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll wear a Patriots jersey.
Dude, this is Drake May. This is our brand new it's our new quarterback.
Who's that?
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the Snapchat today on Alex's side here. And if you want to come again next week, same time, same place, Alex and I will be here. Alex and his handsome face will be streaming all week long. Actually, I don't know that, but I'm going to go ahead and sign him up for it. Every day, 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday. You get on Twitch, you won't miss him. He'll be wearing nothing but
just nothing. Just nothing's what we're going with.
If you can't tell, we've both been traveling. We're a little bit on the loopy side, but yeah, I'll let you close it. It's your channel. You can close it.
No, you close it. I insist.
Guys, I love you. Love you guys. Alex is hot and great and awesome and sexy. Goodbye.